But you know what I think people need to do more often is just turn around and look back how far you've come.
Yeah, I did that too.
You know, and don't always look at the top, but just look at where you were when you started and how far you've come, because we forget that. And reminding yourself of that, I think, is the motivation sometimes to keep going.
Yeah.
That I've come so far. I mean, you know, the top feels really far away, but so does the bottom, you know? And there's a load of people still down there as well.
Yeah.
Yes, there's people at the top, but there's a lot of people down at the bottom as well. And I think that's a really nice way to frame it in your head.
Yeah.
That we've all come so far. You've done your podcast for what, 2 years now?
Yeah, 2.5 years.
2.5 years. If you listen to those first few episodes, how different is it from where you are today?
I should listen to episode 1. I haven't listened to it again.
You don't want to, right? You don't.
I think part of me would like to,
Yeah.
just to realize all the journey.
Yeah.
But about that image of climbing the steps, I would even add a layer to that. Is that yes, you can look back and realize, wow, I've made it up until this point. But also, the top of the mountain, it's your objective, but it's also, I don't want to reach the top of the mountain because I want something to look forward to.
Yeah.
You know, and this is what also keeps me excited.
Yeah.
I think it's about finding the right balance. It's all about balance,
Everything's
which is
about balance.
difficult.
I agree.
But it's about having accomplished certain amount of things that make you feel legit and feel, accomplished. But also it's about wanting more, having more objectives to reach, to keep you excited.
I think the objectives change for a couple of reasons. One is that when you start, you don't see all the opportunities that start to open up as you go. Like, I never, ever saw the connection between the podcast and the business at the beginning. But the podcast has brought eyes to the business. The podcast has brought a network that is helping the business. The business has brought a network that's helping the podcast. And even as we start to grow within the business, we start to see opportunities that we never even imagined were going to come. I'm trying to think of an example, but
why have you started your podcast?
So there was never even an intention to have a podcast. So it's kind of interesting because this is what I mean by sort of the unintended outcomes. You know that this workspace, Banyan Workspace, was built largely to be a home for entrepreneurs to run their businesses from. And we've always tried to do everything that we can to support entrepreneurs, inspire them, motivate them, create a place that they can call home. And one of the things that we thought would be really interesting for our members and our sort of wider community was to host a panel of a few entrepreneurs sharing their stories. And so we did. We invited 3 entrepreneurs and we had a panel and we had an audience and we asked the entrepreneurs a few questions and they shared their experiences and people loved it. And we did 1 and we did 2. And then we arranged a 3rd one and someone said to us, I can't even remember who it was, but someone literally said to us, I can't make it. Are you going to record it?
Okay.
Because I would love to hear what these people have to say.
Okay.
And so we went to an electronics store and brought a couple of 3 clip-on mics, stuck them on, and we recorded it on an iPhone. We downloaded an app and we recorded it. And then we had the recording and we were sitting on a Monday meeting and I said, well, what are we going to do with the recording? And someone said, well, let's upload it to Spotify and then we can share the link.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's a podcast. And honestly, that is exactly how Entrepreneur Story started. The first few episodes, we had those cheap mics. We had an iPhone. We didn't have any video. And it's just evolved from there. And now we're sitting here in this room with, we've got Wilson and his team, Monday Studios, doing this. We've got these professional mics. We've got big lights. I never imagined this. In my wildest dreams, I never imagined hosting a podcast. And I just didn't think it was me, honestly. Someone had said to me years ago when we first founded Banyan that you should have a Banyan podcast. And I was like, don't be so silly. Why would I want a podcast? You know, so I guess that's the perfect example. I said I was looking at for an example of something that we
Well,
never
you have
intended,
one.
and that's it. That's the example. And now I love it. I love it because I get to dive into stories with amazing people that I learn so much from. And don't you learn so much from just researching your guests also?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not only what they share. I mean, what they share is amazing, but part of that is also how you structure the conversation and frame the conversation, right? And that comes from your research. And when you have a good guest that or someone that you're really excited to speak to, it's just amazing because you dive in and you have so many questions. And then I'm like, how do I keep this to 1 hour?
Yeah, same.
You know, what are the best questions that I can ask?
Yeah.
Because I'm genuinely curious and I want to know, and I feel like that adds value to my audience.
I think we can feel that in your podcast, and I hope in mine too, that we are genuinely curious to learn from their stories. And I think it's so important to me to prepare each episode myself, to think about the questions, the angle, how to frame it. And I don't want my guests to just tell the same speech they tell to journalists when they do interviews, because this is not an interview. This is very different.
Yeah.
This is a different format. It's it's a conversation where you dig more into your struggles and your why as well. And I really want my guests to reflect on their journey. It's almost like an introspection. And when I see them thinking or digging into their memories, I'm like, yes, this is what I want.
We said it earlier when we were talking about, I see you. Like, I see what you're doing. And you have respect when you see someone doing things that you know is not easy, but it comes from the right place. And listening to ABO and watching your podcast grow, you wouldn't have been doing this for 2 years if you weren't genuinely curious.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Sure.
There's no way you could do it for 2 years if you weren't genuinely curious and weren't genuinely motivated. Because I'm sure the first few episodes didn't get many listens.
Yeah.
They don't. You put something out there and no one listens to it. Or, you know, you send it to a few family and friends and say, what do you think? And everyone says, that was good.
Well, my mom, she doesn't understand much.
Yeah.
Well, she speaks English, but she can't understand like a proper conversation, like in-depth conversation. So, yeah, but I didn't have many listens, but that was not the point.
That's not the point. It's because you're curious. It's because you enjoyed it. You learned something. You took something from it.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing. That's starting at the bottom of the mountain, right? And then you take those steps and it grows and your followers grow and your listens grow and your curiosity grows and it changes. I'm sure the questions that you're asking now are far more insightful than the questions you were asking on your first podcast, because you don't just ask the same questions again and again.
Yeah.
And you start to dig deeper and think differently and your whole perspective changes. And it's something we haven't spoken about, but the personal growth that we go through on this journey, and I don't just mean the podcast, I mean the entrepreneur journey. The personal growth to me is like one of the most valuable things that I take from this, because my perspective is changing all the time.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't think it was when I was at corporate. Or if it was much more slow and much more subtle.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you're out there all the time. You're not in a bubble anymore. You're doing different things. You're meeting different people. The podcast kind of forces you to, but the business does too. You know, and I'm sure you get people coming to you saying, I'd love to be on your podcast all the time, right? I'm sure you get like your LinkedIn inbox must be full of messages, right? Because everyone wants to tell their story.
Yeah.
And you do tend to go and look at who these people are and whether they have a great story and then decide whether you're going to have them on the podcast or not. But just that little thing means that you're getting exposed to someone who may be doing something that you're like, oh my God, that is such an incredible story or such an incredible thing this person is doing. And you would have had no idea before that.
Yeah.
And I just love the whole personal growth thing because maybe it's because of my last few years of corporate, I just felt stagnant and I felt like I wasn't growing and I wasn't curious anymore. You know, and so when you break out of that and then you feel it, it's kind of like, and I think that's what I see in everyone who's doing something like this, you know, building something.
Yeah, I think it's really what keeps me so excited as well. And I'm in therapy also. And I think being a founder, plus seeing my therapist every 2 weeks, whoa, I grow so much. Everything we mentioned in this episode, it's about taking a step back, learn how to let go, not having to be right all the time. This is about growing, you know, and I think I might say, I'm pretty sure I'm a better human being now as a founder because I understand myself more. Yeah. So then understanding myself more means I can interact with people in a better way, understand them better, learning that my perspective is not the only one. It's a bit paradoxical because when you're a founder, it's your business, your thing. You are your own boss. So it could be something very about yourself, but actually it's really about learning to navigate this with other people.
I love that. I love the fact that you said that you become better, like a better human being through this journey.
Yeah,
because I really do believe that every interaction, every person who works with us, who works for us, you take something from them. And I also think that when you're on this journey, the content that you consume is different.
Yeah.
Because I feel the content you consume also helps you to grow, helps you to improve, helps you to be better. And there's this, it's kind of like a circle because you have a motivation to improve.
Yeah.
You have to improve your business, to improve the way you're thinking. Right. You have to keep
There's
improving.
no other way.
Right.
So you have no choice but just to improve.
Yep.
And I think it also something that I discussed this with my therapist. We were talking about loyalty. It may sound like I'm an old person, but I think in this era, like very digital era with social media, everything goes very fast. I think what matters is loyalty and consistency. Learning to, as we said, to love the challenge, etc., but also to do it over time, to struggle for years and continue.
Yeah.
And this is something many people would give up on. They would give up because it's too difficult, it's taking too long. But actually what it taught me, as you know, when I said I'm a better human being, is also that I value this. I value consistency. I value people who, when they say something, they own up to their words. If they're promised something, they will respect that promise. Yeah. This is really something that I value, and I try myself to behave like that because I think it differentiates the reliable people from the others, whether it's in my personal life or in my business. I realized that this is really something important to me.
Yeah. You know, we talked about building in public, and you just shared something there that my guess is you may not have been so open to sharing 3 or 4 years ago. So you're going to get comfortable sharing and being open and transparent. And when you say loyalty, you mean sort of loyalty to what you're trying to build and what you're trying to achieve? Or to people?
Both.
Both, yeah.
So loyalty to your own business, what you're doing, building consistently, and loyal to your values and to what you promise to people as well. And I think, I was talking about this with my therapist because she was also saying that she sees a lot of patients that are not taking this seriously. And to me, if I start a therapy, I take it super seriously. It's something, you invest in. You don't spend money, you invest. This is how I see it. Yeah. And she was basically saying that she sees over the last years more and more people taking this like not super seriously, canceling all the time, last minute, or paying late, or things like that. And I think I'm not blaming these people, but I just think that it goes with this digital era. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think when you meet a founder, they've gone through difficult times. They kept climbing the stairs, even though it was difficult.
So a couple of things you said there really jumped out at me. One is you said you invested in therapy, and I think that the best investment that we can make is investing in ourselves.